Alright, welcome back to Deep Within the Man Cave. Today's video, I believe I'm going to break it down into a two-part. I'm going to record both parts now, but just for the sake of the length of video on YouTube, I'm going to break it into two parts. Just because I think it might get a little long. So, now this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. Today's topic is being like you're authentically you, or your true self, or who you are, all your faults and quirkiness and everything that makes you who you are, and who you might be if you actually embrace all those things in yourself, because we all have things that we don't like about ourselves that aren't necessarily bad things. Sure, we need to work on stuff, but like everybody does, and if you stop working on yourself, well then you know, life is always about learning and adapting and everything like that. So everybody has things that maybe they're ashamed of, maybe they're scared of, embarrassed about, your dreams, a vision of yourself, what you look like, maybe what you think of other people see you as, and stuff like that. So just know that it takes time to figure this out. Sometimes you get into some deep stuff. Now, I've been thinking about this for like seriously for this for like I don't know, I would say a solid 3 weeks now. I listened to a podcast. I can't even honestly remember which one it was, or else I would post it here. I am gonna go look back and see if I can find it. And also a Instagram post by Sean Whalen. Now, Sean Whalen is a former UFC fighter. He's sort of done dabbled with drugs, alcohol, and thoughts of suicide and stuff like that. So he posts a lot of stuff. He's a motivational speaker and all that stuff, and that's how I ended up finding him, through things that I've looked at and stuff like that. Now, like everything, some stuff he talks about you don't necessarily have to agree with, but that's his views and his stuff, and I find some of his stuff pretty informative and pretty like in your face honest. Gets you to look at things. So now, parts of the things that can scare you when you do this, and how you do it is different for everybody. I mean, I've been going through this process of figuring out why I do things and why things have happened and all that stuff, and that's all. Everything that I've found is it's scary sometimes to look into why things that you had no idea that possibly affect you and stuff like that come back to actually affect you. Things from your childhood and stuff like that. It's all part of who we are. Everything, little thing has shaped us. So it can be a very scary process. Sitting by yourself thinking about it. But it's so worth it, because even though it's scary at the time, you can have some weird thoughts in your head, and you can feel, very poorly about yourself, in moments. But it's not that in itself is not a bad thing. And then when you sort of figure out, you're never going to figure out truly who you are, because you're not done living your life. You are truly figure out who you truly are in this moment, and the things that you value, the things that you do, and stuff like that. So yeah, and who you are now is not who you're going to be tomorrow. It's not who you're going to be in 3 weeks, and not who you're going to be in 5 years. But some of your values and your things will help you move forward. So it can be a little scary and daunting, but being honest with yourself is the most important thing. And if you find something that you do not like, that you're not comfortable with, you have the choice to change it and work on it, so that that person that you are now is not the same person that you are next Saturday, or in 5 years, or a year, or 3 weeks, or a month, kind of deal. You can change something. If you figure something out, you can change something as quick. You just have to put in the work. Okay? Your dreams change all the time. Now, most likely you have a dream, or a version of a dream that you've had for a very long time. Whether it's to, I don't know, become a hockey player, professional wrestler, a car builder, that kind of thing. Construction worker, a nurse, whatever. Those are your dreams. Maybe that's the vision that you've had of yourself for a long time. And I mean, as we grow older and we try different things and different experiences happen, these variations change a little bit. But the dream is kind of the end dream is the same. It's just the version of you that you see is a little bit different. You might be doing something a little different than you originally thought when you were 5 years old, but it's really there. And some things that you might actually be embarrassed about that you do, they're actually good things. So I'll use an example of this, and I'm going to go into it deeper in part 2, when I'll go through the things that I discovered of who I am today, and the things that I want to change, and the things that I'm going to change, and maybe the things are the stuff that I was kind of embarrassed about back in the day, but I've realized they're actually a good thing, and I was just looking at it in a different way. So I would say back in high school and a little bit after high school, I was never the popular kid. Going through school, I was always one of the tallest kids in my class, so I stuck out. Yes, I was a tree in a Christmas concert, because hey, let the tall guy do it. So I always felt a little weird. Sure, it was good when I played basketball. I was never the hero in the basketball. I was always the guard. But I'm telling you, there was a little bit of certain satisfaction when you stuffed the ball in the jock's face when he was trying to throw up, and all you had to do was stand up and block him. There's a little bit of satisfaction like that. So being tall isn't all bad, except for I did break every finger on both my hands playing basketball for one season. But hey, whatever. Those are just little things. So yeah, I felt out of place. I felt that I always had, I could see how other people felt. Like I had empathy, but I didn't know what it was. And you know, I felt bad in certain situations, especially more in like after high school with hanging out with buddies and stuff. And you know, somebody would throw a fit, mostly because they were fucking drunk, and just act like an idiot and like embarrass people. But for some reason, I was always the one that cleaned the mess up. I was always the person that, you know, people could open up to and talk to. I was always the quiet person. You know, I didn't have the fancy cars. I kept my ideas to myself about, you know, things. You know, I was the person that, you know, I kind of felt like I was the male version of my friend's girlfriend's friend, or like another girlfriend. I was that major version because I could see where they were coming from. That is, you know, I had to look at things when I was younger that, oh, I have to take care of my family. I have to do this. So I had that, you know, understanding of that. And, you know, I sort of ended up being the person that cleaned up messes, whether it, not like messes, but whether it's like someone storms off and goes home and somebody else needs a ride home, I was always the guy that would give somebody a ride home. Somebody's like, if my friends acted like jerks and stormed off like little bitches and stuff like that, and went home, you know, their girlfriend or brothers or friends who were staying in the same place, you know, a lot of friends lived in the same house together, so I would always drive them home. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, I felt like I was different, and I didn't really like it. But I'm roughly a year older than everyone. That I realized recently that I'm at least a year older than most of my friends. A lot of my friends now, I am way older. And age doesn't mean anything now. It just means I have more experience and I can use these experiences. So yeah, like there's a lot of things that, you know, that's a good example of the thing that I was embarrassed about, but it actually turned out to be a good thing. You know, people can confide in me, and it's helped. And it realized that I can do things like this. You know, try to help people. So yeah, when you're looking into this stuff, you might find things, but there's always a positive of what. Yeah, you just might not see it yet. So you might have to ask some friends, somebody that you can trust, and stuff like that. It also shows you a appreciation for the people that you have in your life and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stop this video now, and part 2 I'm gonna do sort of how I've become who I am now. Things that are important to me, why they're important to me, why I was embarrassed of things, and so forth. I'm gonna show you my true self up to this day. So that'll be part 2. I'm gonna do part 2. I'm gonna upload it this evening as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep these about 15 minutes each time. So please look forward to part 2, and please share, and any questions, comments, whatever, put them down on the YouTube page, or you can send comments or questions to deepwithinthemancave@gmail.com, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.